Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, namaste. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Here's the news for you today. Stand by. Hi there, hope you're well. Hope your weekend was good. And welcome to Ken at 10. I'm Ken, it's 10, and that's why we're James Alexander Estate Agents. We're based in southwest London, southwest 16 to be precise, in an area called Norbury, which is situated between Streatham to the north and Croydon to the south. And we talk about property all day, every day, because it's what we do. We sell houses, we let houses, we manage hundreds, and we also are retained by buyers to try and find properties for them. And this has become a more and more popular service of late, mainly because there's such a shortage. So there's almost, well, not even almost, there's definitely an invisible market now where we're seeing properties and perhaps negotiating deals where those properties are not even coming to market. It's quite surprising. And so it's not always the traditional thing of, charging a seller to find. Sometimes it's a buyer paying us to find on their behalf. And we have a lot of those at the moment. So we have our eyes out, and we may be looking for your home. So do get in contact if you are selling at the moment or having difficulty. We always like to hear from you, even if we can just kind of help you, point you in the right direction, perhaps refresh your marketing. There's lots on our blog about that, of course. Go to jamesalexander.com and the blog post. The news this week, a few things. First of all, the average UK first-time buyer is now over 30 years of age. I mean, that says a lot about affordability, doesn't it? This is from the Halifax, and it says, surging house prices mean first-time buyers must save for longer before they can afford their own home. The lender said the national average for a first home purchase had risen to 32 in 2021 from 29 a decade earlier. And it was above 30 for every region. The average age remains the highest in London at 33, although it's only risen by a year in the last decade. Other regions have recorded a sharper increase, of course, Wales. And you'd expect that, wouldn't you? Where house prices have come away much faster, you would expect that to have changed much more. Bungalows. The Daily Telegraph this week reports that bungalows have soared at an even faster rate than the rest of Britain's buoyant property market. We are an aging population, The average asking price for bungalows increased 11% to a record of 335,000 in 2021, compared to a 6% rise of the wider housing market, according to Rightmove data. Bungalow prices have jumped by almost a quarter in the last 5 years, amid concerns that Britain's housing stock is not ready for an aging population. Rightmove said average home prices rose 16% over the same period, and retirement developer McCarthy Stone warned earlier this month there is a structural shortage of suitable housing options for older people, and more retirement communities are needed for the UK's rapidly aging population. Rapidly aging? Are we rapidly aging? I hope we're not rapidly aging, but maybe. Life Story, another house builder, said a lack of suitable housing will put great pressure on already overstretched resources, including social care and the NHS. The most valuable additions people can make to their properties. This is one from the Express. I think they've nicked this part of it from Phil Spencer. But anyway, this is from property consultant David Hanna of Cornerstone Tax. He shared the most valuable additions. Not sure how a principal consultant at Cornerstone Tax would know this necessarily, but gardens, garages and home offices have become the most in demand attributes, he said. They were reported by research at Foxtons, which suggests a garden can add up to 20% of the value of the property. Well, this is something that Phil Spencer said. Just to clarify, yes, you could get 20% more if your property has a garden of a certain style and type, but it doesn't mean that you can improve your garden, and because you've improved your garden, necessarily get a 20% uplift because you've improved it. It's a real... I can't believe they even said it. He said that if you've got a garden, you could add value by refurbishing that garden and adding 20% to the value of the property. You can't. If you want to add value to the property, then there are much more practical things you can do, such as kitchens, bathrooms, heating, windows, energy efficiency. And actually, if you're in a Victorian house, keeping those original features and that style makes such a difference. Right. And it depends on your area as well. Some areas they'd rather double glazing, central heating, boxy type style is fine. Other areas, particularly here in London, if you go from Brixton north, then it's much more about strip floors, original fireplaces, sash windows, double glazed sash windows often now as well. Investors are looking to benefit from the UK holiday market as a staycation is booming. No surprise there. The wave of homeowners are getting compensation over rip-off solar panel deals. Do you remember when there were all those adverts about solar panels, how much we were going to save? Apparently, it didn't work out for a lot of people, and 85% of the cases involved the same 5 lenders, which were promised to return, and often they paid up to £15,000 for the panels, and it didn't return the kind of amounts that they expected. Bank of England's been urged to move faster over inflation. And they've said that the bank is taking too long to raise interest rates. Having said that, I mean, I got this through, and something from the Times yesterday. I have a list of all the rates that are available, not financial advice, of course, but just looking through all the rates from 2-year fixes to trackers, discounts, first-time buyers. There are only a couple of rates that are above 2%. I mean, a 10-year long-term fix can be had from 1.4%, and then you've got First Direct. Some of their deals are very good. Yorkshire Building Society, you've got first-time buyer deals at 2.9% with 5% deposit, and 2.56 even with the Yorkshire. And buy-to-lets are all around 1.69, 1.8 for fixes, and so there's plenty of deals out there still, even though rates are continuing to increase. A couple of other articles we saw at the weekend. One in the Times: a shortage of new homes pushing up prices, according to the RICS. The number of new listings failed to keep up with demand in December. About 69% of property surveyors reported house price rises. Onto that, there's an article which says, is new build shortage pushing up prices? And this is an interesting one, saying that people now are more leaning towards new build than ever before. A shortage of homes for sale pushed up prices nationally by 10% and in some pockets of the country by 20%. This lack of available properties is forcing people to look further afield, perhaps for new build, where they hadn't considered it before. If you hadn't considered new build before and you are looking around, what you're going to find is that space is very much at a premium. Some of the spaces are really tiny for the amount of space on offer. You could get much more on the second-hand market. But, like buying a new car, you don't buy a new car for an immediate profit, and the same is true with new build. You buy a new build, take the pill on the fact that it's brand new, and the luxury of having, being the first one in that bath and everything under warranty comes at a price, and that price is generally quite hefty, which is why you'll see less, and certainly less space for your money. They tend to pack them in. A lot of the 5 and 6 bedroom homes, the size of the second-hand market's 3 and 4 bedroom homes when you look at the square footage. So do look at it carefully. Traditionally, new builders attracted more first-time buyers because of Help to Buy. But last year, a record 45% of new build buyers had property to sell, up from 26% in 2019. So it is a real trend. However, despite developers marketing more than 40% of new homes in November than they had the previous year, the imbalance between supply and demand remains, and the builders aren't going to come to market's rescue anytime soon. Developers have built massive property over the past 10 years around Cambridge, but that's been curtailed recently by supply chain and labour issues. Well, this is a big thing, isn't it? They can't get enough builders, and on top of that, getting hold of materials is really proving problematic as well. Something else I just wanted to mention quickly today. My colleague had a damp problem, and this time of year, we get a lot of you inquiring about dampness and condensation, and it is a real problem, I know. We do have a leaflet on it, which we do email to all of our tenants, and in fact, some of our landlords if they're finding a problem with it. But it's a bit like this. When it's cold outside, particularly the north-facing surfaces in your house will they will attract condensation from breathing, from washing, from cooking. All those things have an effect. So you need to ventilate, of course, but you will find if you've got north-facing windows, especially if they're not very good double glazing, that the moisture will actually migrate to those windows. And there is a really simple fix that seems to help quite a lot. So I thought it was worth mentioning. There's a thing called Unibond Aero, AERO. We're not on any commission for this, by the way. 360. That's a Unibond Aero 360, and they're about £13, including a tablet. And that tablet lasts 3 months, so that should take you through the whole of the winter. And what you do is you just pop it on the windowsill. There's no power required. £13, and it sucks in the moisture, and the tablet actually draws the moisture in, so that instead of it getting on your windows and condensation getting really bad, and then you ending up with black spot mold, that can really help. The other thing to mention is, of course, bleach and warm water. Get your marigolds on. You will find that you can scrub some of that down. But I would recommend the Unibond Aero. My colleague in the office has a great success with it. Because often you find, when there's just 2 of you, it's fine. But then when you have children, all of a sudden, perhaps mum's in all day with children as well, that's a lot more breathing. And that breathing creates condensation. And also the washing, the cooking, cleaning, the washing machine, the drying, everything all adds to that. So it's a real problem at this time of year. It will go away, of course, as we get into the spring and you can ventilate more. Ventilation being the key, of course. If you're drying clothes, try and dry them in the bathroom over the bath with the extraction on. But look at those Unibond Aero tablets. They're well worth it, and they might make a difference to your life. I certainly hope that's a handy hint for you. Apart from that, busy week this week, as always. Just about to do our sales meeting, which we love. Another lot for the auction as well. Auctions are great. Just love the excitement of the room. And our friends down there at Network Auctions partner with us. Got a fantastic lot just coming into the market this week. And some other ones. I've got another one should be coming up in the next couple of weeks as well. Looking forward to getting that one live. So hope you're having a fantastic day. Look after yourself. And if you can, your family and friends. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition. Until then, ciao.